Have you ever noticed this? When a hot person acts weird, they seem cool, but when an ugly person does it, they just seem a creep. And I want to explain in this video, I want to explain the psychology behind that, how, what we can do. In this video, I'm gonna, because I've seen good looking people act strange, and people people say, oh wow, they're so unique, they're so sophisticated, they're so this and that. But when an ugly person does the same thing, the same weird thing, or they just act weird, they come off as creep or just like gross. And I'm gonna explain to you why is that. I'm pretty sure you've seen this throughout your life too. You can just imagine, if Brad Pitt listens to some cute girl music, he's still freaking Brad Pitt. But when, I don't know, think of an ugly person, homeless person listens to the same music, to the some those cute anime girl songs. I don't know. You probably subconsciously will think that they're some kind of a loser. Okay, so now why does good looking plus different equals cool? Our brain has a trick called the halo effect. When we see some good looking people, we assume that everything about them is good. Everything about them is cool. Everything about them is like they have a lot of skills. They're a good person. They they're just good. Everything positive, positive. So it's like giving someone a gold crown and assuming everything they do is golden. And now when they do something weird, like listen to some unconventionally cool stuff, like, I don't know, listen to anime music. I don't know, no offense to those people who does it. Listen to freaking freaking Taylor Swift while working out as a guy. Listen to or do making Lego, custom Lego as an adult, still playing with toys, which I am. Uh, they seem cool, okay? Especially they're good looking, and people assume that they're cool, they're unique, they're uh, they're not really a loser. Why does an ugly person who does the same thing called a loser or gross or weird? The same thing with a halo effect. When the reverse happens because of the halo effect, when we see someone ugly, like not really just ugly in terms of bad genetics face, but like they have a bad style, bad hygiene, like their breath stinks, they have yellow teeth, they have very, bad skin, like a lot of acne scars. If they do something the same stuff that the good looking person does, they're probably we will probably see them as a loser, not subconsciously. Okay, we will think that they're a loser, they got no life, they're they're just not cool. And again, that's because of the reverse halo effect. How when we see an ugly person, we assume that everything about them is negative, like they don't have skills, they're a bad person, they suck. And just on top, and adding those weird qualities that they do will just make it look worse for them. And then there's also stereotyping, and weird plus equals danger feeling. So when the average looking person or like the ugly person is doing the weird things, we would automatically think about them as the same thing. They're weird, they're lazy and all that. But with a attractive person, we won't really automatically think about that because they're good looking. It's and that's one of the, how our brains work. Like the fact that they're good looking, or that you find them good looking, won't really turn that opinion that, even though they might be a loser, they might be, they got no life and whatnot. The fact that they're good looking will just kind of like will prevent you from saying will prevent you from saying that they're a complete loser just because of their that you find them attractive. So just imagine, like, I know one example, good example is Henry Cavill, who plays Superman. He still plays with toys and plays video games, and a lot of girls or even guys still find him attractive because of that. But when a guy who's overweight, doesn't take care of himself, is pretty much doing the same thing, which I assume that they do, we would probably assume that he's that the lazy, unattractive, lazy, no life, a loser person. Unlike Henry Cavill, even though again Henry Cavill could be a loser too, but just because he's good looking, assume, or I'm talking about what if someone looks like Henry Cavill and then they're a loser, and but the fact that they just look good and doing the same things, you probably can't say that he's a complete loser because the fact that he's a good looking. Now, what I think someone should do when they feel ugly, when they're ugly and they do weird stuff, and that is me. Okay, I have a lot of weird hobbies. Like I collect Spider-Man stuff. I collect toys. I do, like, I sing to I sing to those cute girls music, those anime music kind of stuff. First of all, make your looks not distracting. Focus on improving your looks. Okay? And it's not really about trying to impress other people. I want you to do it for yourself. Now, you don't really need to look like a model to get to that stage. I don't think you can, but I don't think you'll ever be, but you can get close to it, to a point where normal people will just kind of like see you better looking than before. But just having a better hygiene, like a clean hair, brush your teeth, get it whitened out, fix your face, your skincare, does a lot of good things for yourself. It gives you a healthy lifestyle, and that will really fix like 90% of the problem with this from this video. How if you do weird, if you're weird, if you do a lot of weird things, you're a creep. That will fix that. Just trying to work on yourself, to improve on yourself, trying to be more attractive. The second tip I have for you is fix your social skills. Most of you who are probably already doing these weird things are just weird and kind of seem like a loser, aside from being unattractive, is because you just don't have social skills. You dedicate your life through those weird activities, weird hobbies that you have, and and doing, just focusing your life on that, on those weird things, will just again make you look weird and unattractive, not just in terms of face or overall look. Will just make you unattractive, like in a way that the people that you're attracted to, or like maybe girls or guys, won't really be attracted to living with you, because your life is dedicated to just collecting toys and doing those weird activities. And developing social skills will help, because it just means like knowing how it just means developing social skills will help with delivering the real you, the authentic you, to the other person in a way that may in a way that connects with other people. Okay. And also, by the way, whatever weird things that you do, it's not really fully weird, or doesn't really mean that you're a complete loser. It's just probably the way that you it's probably the way that you frame it. It's probably the way that you frame it that may seem like you're a loser. And the one way that makes it seem like you're a loser is because you're unattractive. You have a bad hygiene, and you just you're not really that good enough. Maybe it's kind of like this. See it like this, okay? You have a product, like let's say this is food, and your looks is like the packaging of the product. If you have even if you're weird, even if you're a weird product, if you have a bad packaging, people are gonna assume that you're just a bad product overall. But then if you have a good packaging, like you fix your packaging, even if you're a weird product, like stuff like I might even talk about, like a weird product that people still use, people still like overall, even though they're weird, and you just have a good looking packaging, people will still buy you. People will still buy you, and developing social skills is important too because it's kind of like the way you advertise the product. You advertise, you tell them to other people to connect with other people, and that's why it's really important to develop social skills too. Like make your life not really all about the weird things that you do, but kind of like make people be kind of part of it by sharing your interests and stuff like that. But you have to develop a good social skills. And and the third tip I have something for you is that be known for something else other than your weird activities that you do. Now, for me, a good example is like, again, the weird thing about me is I collect toys. I love Spider Man. I still have like toys like a kid. And then to majority of people, that's weird. But the other things that I do that I share more often is that I have a business. I run a business. I I study a lot, and I think if you if you just combine the three things, like focusing on looking more attractive, developing your social skills, like just talking to people, being a good listener, and being known for something, sharing your other cool stuff about you, even though you have the weird activity, even if you do the weird stuff, it will just fix that appearance. It will just fix that perspective of you socially, and it will do more good on you on your social life. And again, life is like one of the things that makes life good is the social life that you have. If you don't have a social life, you will likely to be depressed and anxious in the long run. So just having a good appearance and fixing your social skills and doing something other than the weird stuff that you have. And again, it's okay to to be doing the weird stuff that you do, weird hobbies, weird activities. It's okay. Just kind of like fix your branding about yourself, and branding is really your appearance and how you deliver yourself to the world. In conclusion, the world is unfair, but you still have the power. Yes, pretty people and the fact that they're different will seem cool to many people, while the ugly and different will seem gross and creep out. Gets called weird is a thing because of the halo effect and stereotyping. But the thing is, we have the power to change that perspective, and this is important for you to work on because a lot of our life it relies on like how people see us, like your career wise, your boss, how your career wise, how people perceive you, your dating and stuff like that. It affects you in those ways, and it's important for you to work on it through fixing your appearance, fixing your social skills, and doing something other than the weird things that you do.